What is up, ladies and gentlemen? TMG Cone here with episode number 1 of 5-minute top lane review. Let's get right into it. I'm playing Gnar against Urgot in solo queue. I'm actually duo queue with my friend Marshmallow Krug, who is playing Graves Jungle. So a couple of notes about this matchup. It is definitely Urgot favored, especially early before Gnar can get his first or second Mega Transformation. When you are in mini Gnar and you don't have items and you don't have proper ability to space, Urgot absolutely runs you down. Let's talk about starting items. I went Coal 1 pot, and he went Corrupting Potion. So this is not a lane that I played well. This is not a game that we won, which is why I wanted it to be my episode number 1, so that you guys can see all sides of the equation. So first major mistake that I make here is I run up to Urgot. As I was just saying, when you are mini Gnar and you don't have items and you don't have the ability to really space, you cannot be playing aggressively. I walk up early. I did not see him queue. I didn't see anything that would allow me to make an assumption that he does not have his E. So in the back of my mind, I should have been a lot more aware, saying, you know what, this guy could have started E. I don't know if he did for sure, but he could have started E, and I need to play under the assumption that he has his E so that I'm protected from that. Took a really bad trade. I didn't dish any damage out to him. I have to use my health potion. I was considering backing and then TPing back, but I realized that if something were to happen and I were to die and I did not have my TP, this lane is literally over at that point. Whereas by kind of greeting and staying and not taking the back with the TP, I still have the TP in my back pocket, and you will see in a few minutes it actually comes and saves me. So Urgot bunches up the first few waves, he slow pushes it into me, and he has a really good cheater timer here because I don't have any AoE because I'm not Mega Gnar yet, I'm only level 2. And there are just a ton of minions underneath my tower. So for a little bit of time, until these minions clear, I'm going to be locked underneath my tower. I do not have the ability to follow him on the map because I am just going to be bleeding resources out over time. It's going to be a massive win for him, even if nothing happens on the map, because I'm losing so much top. So with this cheater timer, I'm late to call missing, completely my fault. What Urgot does is he roams all the way down to mid, and they are going to get a kill on my Syndrome. Now, Urgot is not going to get the kill himself, but he's going to get an assist, he's going to get some gold, and he's going to be able to snowball the game a little bit. There you go, you can see them get the kill. Now, what I do top lane with this information is I can't push it incredibly fast because I'm a mini Gnar, only level 4 without items, but I'm going to use my auto attacks every time they're up, and I'm going to use my Q to push this wave. Now, similar to how he had a cheater timer by crashing the minions underneath my tower, because he chose to roam mid and because he took it back and then TP'd back in, I knew that I had enough time to push the wave into his tower. Now, the reason this is important and it's worth noting is because I'm able to get a pretty solid back here, where I now get boots, refillable potion, and control ward on top of the coal that I already started with. And the wave is going to very slowly push into me. I'm going to miss a few minions here, but nothing crazy, and I'm going to hold my TP. So just like level 1 where I opted to not TP because it could have saved me, well, maybe that's a situation where I wanted to use my TP, but in my mind, if I know I'm only going to be missing a few minions anyway, I can just hold that TP again. Same thought process, just a slightly different situation. I'm not in any real danger right now because this wave is going to push into me. Unless I make a terrible decision of hard shoving this wave and trying to trim it right now, killing and doing as much damage as possible to the minions, this wave is going to push into me, and for, maybe it's only one wave depending on how he manages it and overpowers me, but for 1, 2, or 3 waves, I'm going to be in a position where even if this Lilia or this Zed runs straight up past the Scuttle Crab and into my lane, I'm going to be pretty protected because now I know the wave pushes into me and it's on my side of the map. So there's a minion surplus that he has, but it's on my side of the map, so I'm safe, and I can just decide how I want to deal with the wave. So Graves and I are going to do a good little gank here to begin with, where we are able to force the Urgot to flash out. Now Graves is taking quite a bit of damage here, and I'm tanking minions. I do transform into Mega here, and the Graves and I are a little bit out of sync. We end up re-engaging, but the timing was a little bit off on our parts. I get hit by the Urgot E, and we actually get both of us get killed, and there's a lot of gold and a lot of XP on their side of the map. So this is going to put Graves behind compared to Lilia. As you can see, he is about 400 gold behind, and this is going to put me behind Urgot. As you can see, I am about 800 gold behind. Now I'm going to narrow that gold gap a little bit because I finally use my insurance here of the TP, and I TP back to lane and I get these minions. But regardless, even with his gold that I'm getting on this wave, I am not in a particularly good spot here. I no longer have the insurance policy. He's level 6 while I'm level 5. Yes, I'm going to even the gold gap up a little bit, but there's still going to be a sizable gold gap. And even though he doesn't have his TP, it doesn't matter because he can just walk back. He can sacrifice a few minions. He doesn't need to sit here and greed for it. And he also knows that over time, this wave, I'm not going to be able to perfectly manage this wave because it's 3 and 3 on my side. My minions are going to arrive first. And similar to how he had a window for cheater and I had a window to back, he is going to give himself a window here where now he has control in the wave. Realistically, with the items right now on the map, I cannot fight him. I can maybe go even with him with a fantastic ult and dodging his ult, etc. But realistically, I do not have a kill window on him. So Urgot coming back to this with a fresh back, and I actually have almost the same amount of gold in our pockets right now, 400 unspent gold versus 500 unspent gold. But Urgot is going to have pretty much control over this wave. Now, it does accrue to be a little bit too large, and I get mega timing. So I'm going to go completely balls to the wall and try and clear this wave, which I'm able to actually do efficiently. And here is where I actually even up the gold gap a little bit more. So right now I'm only down 400 gold, but he's going to get a lot of that. That gap is going to increase right now because there's so many minions in their tower. But because there's so many minions that I know he's focused on, because I'm mini Gnar, and because I know he doesn't have flash, all of these factors allow me to stay in front of my wave, auto attack the tower, and the minions and me do enough damage where I'm able to get a plate. So now the minion waves are equal right now. We would both get 6 CS if we CS perfectly, and I'm actually only down 400 gold on the Urgot. We both have coal. I'm going to proc mine a little bit sooner because I started with it where he got it off of his first back. So we're both going to have an infusion of gold later, and we're going to scale. But regardless of all of that, the fact that I'm only down 300 gold in this in this lane state, in this matchup, is actually a win for Gnar. On paper, I'm obviously down gold. I'm losing. But if you look at the circumstances and the environment that I'm placed in right now, this is actually pretty good for Gnar. Gnar's not really too panicked right now. Yeah, he has more XP. He's closer to level 8 for sure. As you see, he dings level 8 there. But I'm level 7, and I have 5 minions coming under my tower. I am too scared of Urgot to really hold the wave efficiently under tower, so it is going to crash into me. And I clear the wave, and if we look at the gold once more, I am down 370 gold. Given the situation that I was in and how bad it could have been a completely unplayable lane, it is actually an okay situation for me as Gnar. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude episode number 1 of 5-minute top lane review. If you enjoyed or you have any comments or criticism, please feel free to leave a comment below. And I appreciate you taking the time out of your day or night to be watching this video. Thank you, TMG Co. Now.